Everybody, my name is Steven, and this is an update for where I've been the past year and a half. So it's because I have so many subscribers out there that were just begging to know what I've been doing. But I decided to join the Navy, and I'm finally home on a 10-month deployment. So it's been not too bad. So I decided to make one of those videos where should I join the Navy 2016 edition, just to give insight on what I experienced, and to anybody that's thinking about joining, and to anybody that's really just contemplating doing something with their life. So this is going to be one of those videos. So I dipped in. So this is actually I'm in 1 year now. This is my 1 year mark. So I decided to give an insight on what I've experienced and what everything I went through. So I dipped in July 29th, 2015 is when I swore in, and I decided to, and so I was in depth for about 2 months, but it was weird because I originally wasn't supposed to leave March of this year, but I ended up leaving October 13th, 2015. So I was supposed to have like an 8-month gap when I was supposed to leave, but my recruiter was like, "Hey, would you like to go?" And I was like, I said no at first because I wanted to, have my birthday and Christmas and Thanksgiving one more time before I was fucking gone for God knows how long. So, but then he was like, so I told him no, but then he called me back again and said, "Hey, you have to go." And I was like, what the fuck? But I was just like, okay, whatever. So I left October 13th, I got to boot camp, and I was there from October all the way up until, I was away from October 13th all up until July 1st when I finally came home to Fort Worth, Texas. So this is what I've experienced through boot camp and through school and through other stuff. So whenever you get to boot camp for the first time, you're going to fly there, and you're going to go through a lot of stuff the first couple days. They keep you awake for like 2 or 3 days. It's not too bad. It's just, that's basically their way of like breaking you down, I guess. It's their way of basically getting in your head of, it's basically the Navy boot camp is a mind game. It's really it's a mind game. That's really all there is to it. But it's not necessarily scary. It's more annoying than it is necessarily scary, because in today's military, I don't know if the Army and Marines or the Air Force, but they can't touch you. They scream at you a lot, but they can't touch you. Really, the only thing people are scared of is like getting dropped, which is basically they got an orange card, and there's like all these exercises of what they make you do when you get in trouble. And it's like, it's not even necessarily like bad. It's just more like you have that fear of fucking up, which is what it is, and they make you feel stupid about it. That's really all it is. But boot camp was an interesting experience, to say the least. The food was pretty good. It wasn't too bad. There was not really any them waking us up in the middle of the night to do PT. They had to give us 8 hours of sleep. They were forced to. They had no other choice. Sometimes we would go to bed late and wake up late. Sometimes we would go to bed early and wake up early. But either way, it was always 8 hours. But at the same time, you have to stand watch. So basically, you're just standing. That's their way of training you to stand watch, because in the Navy, you stand watch fucking all the time. So that's really what you do in the Navy. You just stand watch whenever you're not doing your job. So there are some nights where you get like 3 hours of sleep, and if you have watch, because watches are 2 hours during the night. But you do a lot of cool stuff. You do live fire. You shoot a 9mm. You shoot a shotgun. You get your qualifying thing with that. You get the little ribbon. You do the fucking firefighting drills. So you basically get taught how to firefight. You do the swim. The swimming is not too bad. I know how to swim, so for me it wasn't really that big of a deal. The only thing is just that it sucks because with everything you do in boot camp, there's always like your brother Div will be there with you to do it. So there's always like so many people doing stuff at once. So whenever you go do like a test or you go do swimming or live fire or firefighting or battle stations, it's not just your division. There's other divisions that are doing it. It's you and your brother Div that's doing all this stuff at once. So there's like almost 250 recruits doing one thing at once, and everyone's fucking screaming and trying to get everybody through because there's so many people and there's only like so many like instructors and RDCs. That's really the only reason why everyone's such an asshole over there, because there's so many people at once and they basically got to make sure everybody's doing it, and they make a big deal about just being quiet and not fucking doing nothing you're supposed to do. Boot camp is really easy. All you really have to do is go. You just got to be quiet and you got to do what you're told. It's not that bad. For me, it was kind of difficult just because I had a problem with just being secluded that whole time. So, but it's a lot of people actually don't make it through just because it's not really necessarily the physical aspect of it. It's not the it's not because the tests are hard or anything's really hard. It's more of the mentality. They get to you mentally, because military, Navy life in general, you have to be used to basically not communicating with anybody. You have to be used to constant things constantly changing all the time. And a lot of people can't handle that, so they either get asthma or they get kicked out. But it's really all it is a mind game. It's not anything too drastic. You're always there with your division, or you're there with other people. You're never by yourself for anything, really. So everyone's there experiencing the same thing with you in your compartment and through everything else that's there, basically. But it's not too bad. The only thing that you really be doing, you have a lot of inspections, you have a lot of folding your clothes in accordance to your RDC's instructions, which is exciting. That gets annoying after a while, but all it is it's just a work in progress once you get there. Whenever you get there, you're expected to not know anything, basically, and they yell at you for not knowing it. And so towards the end of boot camp, you become, a more efficient sailor. They're turning civilians into sailors, basically. So it's not really anything. So, they expect you to fuck up. They expect you to not know anything about the Navy, because that's what it's like. It's basic training, basic military instruction. It's basic. You're becoming a basic sailor. It's what it is. And they, depending on your RDCs, you got sometimes you have some cool ones, sometimes you have some assholes. It really depends on who it is and what's going down. If your division is a good division and they do what they're supposed to do, you're gonna have no problems. Your RDCs are gonna be fantastic. If your division is constantly fucking up, then your RDCs are gonna be assholes. That's really all it is. I had like an in-between. I had an RDC who was always a fucking asshole through the whole thing. I had an RDC that was an asshole at first, but then towards the end it was really not that big of a deal. He was just cool. It was whatever. It really just depends on the RDC at that point. It just depends really on who you get. Not everyone is an asshole. Not everybody is a fucking crazy person. You meet a lot of different people. The Navy is real big on diversity. It's really like, they want you to work as a team. You cannot succeed in the Navy unless you know how to communicate, you know how to work as a team. You have to be able to work with other people. A lot of people you don't like. You go through high school and you go through college and you go through your basic civilian job and you hate everyone. So it's not necessarily and through life you meet people you don't want to be around. In boot camp you got no choice but to be around them. So and then in boot camp or in the Navy in general, you have to find, it's all about achieving the mission and doing the job. So you can easily just you gotta learn to work with shitbags, and you gotta learn to be tolerant of other people, because if not, then you're gonna have a rough time doing your job and just basically surviving every single day. So it's just one of those things you just gotta learn. You have to learn to be tolerant of other people. You have to learn to work with other people. You gotta learn basically to be a basic human being in reality. So it's not really it's not anything you shouldn't already know, you know, just growing up. But if you do have a problem with just people or just, you know, things like that, you know, the Navy has a no tolerance for racism, no tolerance for sexism. You know, you're gonna have female RDCs, you're gonna have male RDCs, you know, so many different people from all over the world, from different genders, different orientations, whatever, join the Navy. There's not a single person in the Navy that's the same, other than the fact that we all wear the same uniform and it all says U.S. Navy on it. So it's really, I like it in the aspect of the fact that you meet a lot of cool people and you meet a lot of interesting, colorful characters, to say the least. It teaches you to be a lot more tolerant and a lot more just open to, you know, other people, basically. Because in high school, you know, you only have your one group of people you hang out with and everybody else is fucking crazy. But whenever you're in the military in general and you're all wearing the same uniform and you're all going through the same stuff, you learn to like be like, okay, you know, maybe I should not act this way, because, you know, we're all going through the same shit. You need friends in the Navy, or else you're gonna go crazy, because you're away from your family and you're away from everything that used to make you a person whenever you were at home to begin with, and you have to learn in having friends and stuff like that. You learn to just be more, basically become a better person. You don't really go in a worser person, depending on who you are, I guess. For me, I came out the same person I was whenever I first joined. Maybe just a little bit more less like just insecure. It's really a interesting thing to learn when you're out there, that you can do anything that you basically set your mind to. Nothing is impossible to you anymore, because not everybody is capable. You are literally the 1% that, you know, qualify to serve, basically, because you go through MEPS and they try to disqualify you for anything, and you get through MEPS and you're qualified to do stuff, and it's a pretty cool feeling to know you swore in and like, damn, I made it through MEPS. I got anything wrong with me, I can go do this. So, and then boot camp gives you the mentality too that everything you do in life is mental, especially when it comes to PFA and swim and stuff like that, that you can do it. There's nothing, the only thing that's stopping you from doing it is yourself. So, and it's cool because I came in very not really so confident in myself, and only to come out as a more capable person. I don't really worry about life as much as I used to. Nothing really is hard to me as much as it used to be anymore. You know, it's not, you learn to just be more of a capable person in a sense. It's you know, it's hard to find words to describe that feeling, but you just become more confident in yourself, and you can literally achieve anything so long as you set your mind to it. Nothing is impossible to you anymore after you go through everything you went through in boot camp and A school and the Navy and deployments and being on a ship and, you know, going to fucking general quarters and fucking having to do battle stations. Especially, I can't talk about battle stations to people that want to join, because, you know, that's a big tradition when it comes to becoming a sailor, is that everyone has to experience battle stations their own way. Battle stations is basically that stamp that basically gives you the sensation of, shit, I can do anything I set my mind to. Because after you go through battle stations, it's pretty much like, shit. You're good. You're good after battle stations. You're good. You feel pretty good after that, and it really opens you up after a while. So it's not too bad. It's just you know, it's hard sometimes. It's really hard. Military life is difficult. It's not easy. Not everyone can handle it. You have to really want to do it. You have to be sufficient. You know, it's really what you make of it. Military life. It's really a one or two-sided thing. You can hate it, you can love it, you can be okay with it. Everyone has their different, you know, opinions of joining the Navy. You know, it's really what you make of it. Some people join because they didn't have shit to do. Some people join to get out of a shit situation. Some people join to pay for college. Some people join because they really do want to die and fight for their country, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. I joined to pay for college, and not necessarily for the money, but I kind of joined myself as basically as to tell myself, as a confirmation, I guess, for myself that I can do anything I set my mind to. Because it's more of a personal thing to me why I joined. It wasn't really money or pride or serving or anything. It was just I needed to prove to myself something. That's basically why I joined in the first place. But you know, it has its benefits. You know, college is paid for. You don't got to worry about while you're in. You don't got to worry about like living expenses. You know, the Navy's real good on, you know, taking care of you in terms of when you're married, in terms of if you have kids, your benefits when it comes to health insurance, life insurance, dental, getting paid on time. Just, you know, while you're out there, you end up saving a lot of money. It really just depends on who you are as a person when it comes to the money situation. You have to be responsible. You can't just blow all your shit. In A school, especially, once you get to A school, you're going to learn that the only thing to do at A school is go to school for whatever rate you're joining, and to basically, just spend money on dumb shit. So you come out with fucking 2,500 grand, and you're just $2,500 or, you know, stuff like some amount like that, and you're just like, damn, this is more money than I've ever had in my life. What do I do? And then you go buy a fucking MacBook, and it's like, you know, just be cautious. You know, just remember that your A school has the galley, it has free food, and remember that the Next is not always the cheapest place to buy things. So just remember that. So just other than that, you know, the military is really, it's up to you what you want to do. You can go active duty, you can go reserves if you don't want to be gone for a very long time. It's all depending on you. And regardless of if you're active, if you're reserve, you're still serving. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, fucking reservist, or oh, I wish I was a reservist, oh shit, I should have been active, blah, 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 blah. So long as you are happy with your decision to join, and you are doing what you need to do in terms of yourself and your happiness, that's really all that fucking matters. That's really all that matters. Don't let anybody tell you, you know, oh, you should have went active, or you should have been this, or you should have done that, you should have done this. It's all about what you want. Don't let other, especially people there, try to tell you, you know, a lot of people gave me shit for doing what I chose to do. So it's really all about you. You know, I came in as a gunner's mate, and I didn't want to be a gunner's mate, so I'm currently getting my music degree so I can cross straight to BMU. And everyone's like, why are you doing the military? You know, you're in the military, you should be, you know, fighting. Why do you want to do music? And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing what I want to do, you know? You know, it's about what's going to make you happy and what works for you. And don't let anybody tell you, oh, I went reserves and I want to do this and I want to do that. And honestly, it's like, it's one of those things where why limit yourself when you could do everything and be, you know, different from everybody else. You know, and in the end, you're really, you know, your own person, and you're fucking badass for being your own person. So you just gotta learn to, you know, not everybody in the Navy is nice. You know, some in the civilian world, you learn to make your friends, and you learn to just have people you just work with. It's just one of those things, really. So it's not too bad. Just remember that, you know, to really be honest with yourself in terms of what you want to do with your life. Don't think that the Navy, or don't think that you know, your obligation is to serve, or your obligation is to be here, do this or do that. It's really, you know, everyone has their different, everyone joined for a different reason. And so long as it's working out for you, that's really all that matters. And the Navy will try to make you feel bad, or make you feel like shit, that, you know, especially in boot camp, that, you know, you're doing this to better yourself. Oh, you know, so you didn't join to serve your country or shit like that. It's like, I mean, in reality, I'm still serving my country regardless. It's cool that I am, but at the same time, I have a sense of humbleness to say that, yeah, I'm doing this, but I just want to do it in my way. I want to serve the way I want to serve. And a lot of people hate the Navy because of what it's done to them, because they get shafted because of different situations. A lot of people love it. It's really just, at the same time, you have to realize that it's what you make of your situation. You have to learn to get through and not listen and just do what you want to do. The Navy works for many different ways. It has a lot of different jobs, a lot of different opportunities you can do. You don't gotta do this. You don't have to fucking go fight anybody. You don't gotta do all the fucking hard shit. You can if you want to. There's nothing saying you can't, or you can fucking get a job that, you can just chill out and do an office job. A lot of people do that. I'm a gunner's mate, so I'm gonna be I do the hard shit sometimes, but at the same time, I wanted to go to school and I want to be an MU. I want to be a musician for the Navy. That's what I want to do. So just because I think that's fucking awesome. So I guess to conclude this, do what's gonna work for you. Don't listen to what people think you should do in terms of the military. Whenever you get there, remember that it's hard, but in the end, you come out the same person you were, just a more confident version of yourself, and a lot more. You learn to basically not really, for me personally, I don't really worry about stuff as much as I used to, because in the end, there's no point you arguing about anything, because especially in the Navy, your friends, the people you have, you never know what could happen to them. In A school and boot camp too, that shit happens. A lot of people kill themselves, and you hear about that in A school and boot camp. People try to do a bunch of crazy shit to get them out, and then whenever you go on deployment and you go through all that stuff that you see on a ship, and you see everyone going through all this different shit, and you realize that, damn, like, why are people arguing over petty shit when all this other stuff is happening while everyone's at home and I'm out here? And it makes you think, like, damn, what I used to get mad over whenever I was in civilian row seems so stupid, because it's like, fuck, dude, I'm going through all this shit. I'd love to go back and live that life again in reality. Like, fuck this shit. So, I learned to be just, I don't worry about stuff. I'm more confident, and I realized that, life is short, and you got to not be an asshole, and you got to love everybody, because you never know what can happen to them, and not argue over petty. Don't be petty. Be humble. Be humble in the Navy, and don't be petty, because it could be a lot worse. So that concludes that. I hope this was fulfilling. I know I repeated myself a lot, and I'm not really good at speaking yet in the camera. It's just been forever since I've filmed anything, so yeah. Have a great day.